Imagine clicking a link to watch a standard YouTube video or read a Reddit thread, and instead of the content, you hit a hard block, an aggressive digital lock demanding proof of who you are before you're allowed to proceed. To bypass that screen, you have to hand over highly sensitive information. We're talking a biometric facial scan, your passport details, or your actual credit card number. In the UK, ordinary citizens now face these demands as a strict legal requirement for basic web access. To participate in the modern digital public square, you must now hand over your most guarded financial and personal secrets. This is the reality of the UK's Online Safety Act. Set for full enforcement by early 2027, the headline objective of this law is entirely agreeable, banning social media for anyone under 16. Protecting children is a goal nobody argues against, but enforcing an age ban requires a massive mechanical hurdle behind the scenes. A website can't just ask for a birth year and take your word for it anymore. To legally guarantee that no children are using a platform, that platform has to definitively prove the exact age of literally every single adult user. That means daily use platforms with billions of users, places like Meta, YouTube, and TikTok, must verify the identities of their entire user base. A law passed entirely under the banner of child protection has inadvertently engineered one of the largest mandated surrenders of personal, financial, and biometric data we have ever seen. Tech companies aren't building these verification walls voluntarily. They are doing it under the threat of catastrophic financial penalties, reaching up to 10% of a company's total global revenue. The newly empowered regulatory body enforcing these rules is Ofcom. Originally focused on television and radio, they now have the authority to levy these massive fines across the internet. To put the scale of that threat into perspective, look at Meta. They generated around $200 billion in revenue last year. A 10% fine would cost them $20 billion. Facing a financial hit like that, platforms are panicking. To ensure compliance, they are aggressively overblocking perfectly legal content and outsourcing the highly sensitive job of age verification to external third-party companies. Ultimately, these platforms are prioritizing their own corporate financial survival over the personal digital security of their users. This creates a major vulnerability. Everyday users are now forced to upload government-issued IDs, like a passport, directly to relatively unknown verification providers. Digital privacy advocates, like the Open Rights Group, have pointed out a glaring issue inside the terms and conditions of several of these verifiers. Some explicitly allow the user data they collect to be repurposed for marketing and advertising. This animated diagram illustrates the systemic risk here. By funneling thousands of individual, decentralized users with their IDs and financial details into a single central server node, you create a massive bottleneck of sensitive information. These centralized repositories act as a honeypot for hackers and identity thieves looking for a high-value target. The structural shift towards centralized verification creates a single point of failure, one that could compromise thousands of identities in a single breach. And there is an obvious technical loophole to all of this. Tech-savvy teenagers can easily bypass the UK's geographical blocks by simply downloading a free virtual private network, or VPN. This bar chart breaks down a massive 2016 study on hundreds of Android VPN apps. 38% of them actually contained malware. But even more concerning is this towering column, showing that more than 80% requested access to highly sensitive user data. These free apps often carry Trojans and spyware. Once installed, they dig into the device and extract highly personal information, including private text messages and entire contact lists. The policy completely fails its primary goal. It doesn't successfully block determined teenagers. It actively pushes them toward device-compromising malware, all while stripping adult users of their financial privacy. This internet verification push isn't happening in isolation. It aligns heavily with a broader political effort in the UK to introduce the Brit Card, a nationwide mandatory digital identity scheme. The proposal faced intense public backlash. Citizens widely rejected the idea of tying their daily interactions and right to work to a government-tracked digital ID, leading to massive petitions and street protests. A narrow, highly specific mandate aimed at keeping kids safe online rapidly escalated into a comprehensive framework for broad digital surveillance and financial data extraction. The situation in the UK provides a stark warning. Your personal and financial privacy is most vulnerable when the policies demanding it are wrapped in the unassailable language of public safety. The golden rule of digital security is data minimalism. Protecting your financial identity relies entirely on restricting the number of entities that hold your credit card numbers and passport details. Trading financial privacy for basic internet access is a growing global threat model, one that extends well beyond the British Isles. U.S. consumers need to be hyper-vigilant. Think twice before handing your data to third-party verifiers or data brokers, and always recognize the hidden security costs of sketchy digital workarounds. Navigating this landscape is the mission behind Credit IQ. We deliver research-driven analysis on credit, banking, and digital security, moving past surface-level tips to look at the mechanics of the system. We dig deep to decode the U.S. credit system, showing you exactly how to build your score, leverage your cards properly, and protect yourself against modern data scams. In the modern economy, wealth is built through a combination of earning power and the active, aggressive protection of your credit score. Take control of your financial knowledge. Hit the subscribe button to join Credit IQ today, and we'll see you in the next video.